Yo, what is going on, everyone in the XRP community? Hope you guys are having yourselves a fantastic day today, as usual. I have a little piece of information I do want to go over. I did talk about this on stream, but I don't feel like I gave it enough time, hence why I am making the video today. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you go to Ripple's Crunchbase profile, you can everything about their funding rounds. And what we noticed on stream, and I bear with me, I get it, it's old news. I do understand it was on the 20th, but I was gone for all of December, pretty much all of December, and I just found out about this today. Now I didn't think much of it at first until I go back to the Crunchbase page and realize something kind of odd about this Series C funding, or not really odd, but something good. So notice how it says total funding amount, 293 million. Ripple has raised a total of $293 million in funding over 12 rounds. But this latest Series C funding was $200 million. That is more than all the previous funding rounds combined. Interesting, right? Not only that, is it pretty much 3x'd their total funding that they've had from private investors. Like, that's a pretty major amount to get funded as a startup, and it increases your total funding by 300%. That's a pretty dang major funding round. Now, we can see that one of the lead investors is Tetragon Financial Group Limited. There are 3 total investors, but I do not have the pro version of this thing. I really don't want to pay for this, but I mean, if you guys got a Crunchbase account out there and can get a screenshot on Twitter, that would be pretty cool if you already happen to have the account or something. But basically, what we need to know is that, yeah, it's a pretty major amount that they got funded. And also another thing about Series 3, or no, Series C, is that the company goes for Series C round of funding when it looks for greater market share, acquisitions, or to develop more products and services, essentially just expanding. Now this Series C round of funding can also take place to prepare the company for an acquisition. Speculatively, R3 maybe? I don't know. Be the judge. It is the last stage in a company's growth cycle before an initial public offering. Valuation of the company at this juncture, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, by the way, Ripple is worth, I think, about $10 billion right now. So yeah, that is quite the institution to go public. So they are one step away. Literally, they've went through all the steps, the seeding, the seed very, very early day stage, probably when they were open coin, angel investors early stage, and then Series A, Series B, and then they just got their Series C going. Right? So now that next step is they can IPO, which Ripple has never said that they plan to go IPO, but I mean, I don't think any company that's private is going to, let people know whether they want to IPO or not, like, a couple months before they do. I mean, what would be the point of that? Just announce it when you actually, go public, right? But I mean, if we actually had Ripple get traded, let's say, they get put under the tech company category, so it'd be like on the NASDAQ. I mean, if it got on there and made some serious moves on that, traditional market, that could definitely bring investors over into the XRP space, because people just learn about the company, they're going, oh, hey, cool, I can get stock in the company, but then they can go, oh, well, also, they do have a currency I could buy into as well. You see how that kind of works? So I think if Ripple did IPO, that's what's crazy. They're like one step away from doing it. They're literally one step away from doing it. And if they actually IPO, that is a pretty major achievement for a business. So, guys, just realize that. They got major funding. Like, literally increased 300% because of one Series C funding round. It's like, man, they got significant funding and are at the last step before going public. So, Just wild stuff. It's crazy to know that we're actually that close if they decide to go public. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I remember Bob Way, maybe on XRP chat, or maybe it was when he came on the channel, but I believe Bob Way said something along the lines of, like, oh, once Ripple goes public, I'll go ahead and, sell my shares. He said something like that. And I'm like, he kind of, expected that Ripple's eventually going to go public. So, guys, who knows what lies ahead of us in 2020? I mean, Jan 15th, we have the Ripple lawsuit getting back into court. Maybe a final decision could be made. Maybe this security clearance in the US get identified as a utility or exchange token or a currency. Maybe that could be something they're waiting on before going public. But point is they are one step and they can go public. They're at the last step before you're finally getting in there. So, guys, something really, really interesting to consider. Ripple ever did go from private to public. I think that would mark a huge milestone, a huge, huge milestone in the company. That's honestly, like, I did not realize we actually had something like this so close. So, never know, guys. Let's see what happens. Upcoming on January 15th. I'm fingers crossed. Seriously, this freaking class action lawsuit. I mean, Ripple discredited the plaintiff's arguments. Every single one of them, including the ones where he used CNBC as his source. I mean, you're using CNBC for cryptocurrency related matters. I mean, come on. That's got to be a pretty weak argument then. So hopefully the judge can throw this out, and hopefully the SEC sees that and the outcome of the case and go, all right, you know what? Let's get some real regulation going here to have proper infrastructure in the US to get financial institutions to use XRP, because we know all the great benefits that come with it. Damn, going public, that could be one hell of a way to accelerate adoption, in my opinion. Really get the name Ripple out there. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning the video today. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.